Hey guys, how's it going? Yetchimesh. Um, Before we begin, I wanted to show y'all something I was working on earlier. I've been trying to actually make a PS3. Now, I actually went so far as to model like the logo and all the like touch sensitive stuff, even the little LED lights. And I'm actually pretty proud of it. I even got the USB in there to grill. I gotta put it in the side too. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it without, a whole lot of geometry, and then, UV unwrap this top part and put the PlayStation logo. But it looks pretty good. Here's how it looks rendered. We'll just control up. I think that's a nice picture. A handy thing to show y'all before we begin is press F3 on a render and you can save it. I'm gonna call this just PS3 first render. In fact, it's always good to put it in the correct directory too, um, because otherwise it'll become a problem. Now, this whole PlayStation controller business, I can't wait to get done with now. Um, we have been working on this for a while, and let's see. Somehow I got stumped on these damn buttons. So today, I'm gonna show y'all how to handle these buttons like a boss. So we're in our file here. It seems we already did the UV unwrapping here. Um, let's go ahead and select these, put them separate, and we're just gonna take a look at what we got here. Alright, let's change this to a UV editor. We might make some changes to, let's see, PlayStation controller, no, PlayStation buttons, here we go. And we're just going to take this last one and scale that. Alright, this is going to throw off our scale a little bit. There's ways to fix that. In fact, let's just fix it. I've been trying to half-ass it through this tutorial, and on my model, I did good, but on the tutorial, not so much. So instead of jipping you guys, I'm actually going to give y'all a square deal, and we're actually going to modify this image we got off the internet. So before we do that, let's put Blender away. Here's the file. I know that if I hold Alt and drag something, it'll make a copy of it. So there we go, edit away. Alright, strength. We'll go down here under paint stroke or paint curve and change this to hard ass. And we're just removing what we got here. Let's get pixel perfect, make this a controller to remember. I noticed I got a lot of comments today. Not too many people comment on these. Glad to find so many people are enjoying me just rant and use Blender. I've been using the software for about a year. I came across it actually when I was obsessed with something called ActionScript, and after using it for using some vector files in a 3D environment for web programming, people keep messaging me. My iPod's going crazy. I forgot my train of thought. Whatever, let's continue. So I'm just rubbing out any sign of white by just painting it white. I try to stay in Blender when I do stuff. Like, I can't wait till I finish up on this. I can't wait to show y'all the way that I've been making human faces. Using the compositor to come up with my maps, my diffuse, and epidermal and dermal and all that. Like, I've been trying to really hit these nodes hard because, there's not a lot of tutorials on it. Books touch on it, but they don't really get in depth, and it's because there's just more than one way to skin a cat, and in Blender it's easy to figure out another way to do the same thing. We're gonna go to default, or right here, I'm gonna turn this back to a node editor. Screen's distort and then you're supposed to do that. Let's increment this by 1. Now last time I was messing with this like a weirdo, so let's just start off by simplifying it. Alright. Duplicate this one. Here, we don't even need to look at it. We'll look at black fine. Change this one to black wide. Hold on, someone's messaging me. Alright, let's continue. Sorry about that. Changing this to screen. We're going to put this here. And screen basically just takes to white. Multiply pretty much takes to black. I hope I said that right. If they came up with a really good way to preview stuff in a node editor, I'd be pretty happy. I think that'd be the awesomest thing ever. Now we're doing color. Mix. And we're gonna actually overlay. We're gonna screen another color over it, and this color is gonna be whatever we want it to be. And we're gonna use a texture. We're gonna load up that, and let's jump back over into the UV editor and just hit save. If we do that, then if it reloads or something, it's not gonna mess us up. Now this right here, I imported a texture. Like I said, this is gonna be fast paced. I'm trying to get this over with. We'll do it for buttons, change to UV on the vector, and move the value here. And now, if we put this in the output, looks like we may have it backwards. Maybe invert it. And see, when it comes to nodes, it's not even difficult. You're just putting them down as you think it. So, if we go out of this view, go into that view, and try to see what we got. Turn off image painting. Alright, when the computer gets hot, gotta jump ship, abandon it, pause this tutorial, everything. Like I'm telling you, this computer is like the most evilest computer ever. It just will refuse to let me ever. And look, we render it out with 100%, and suddenly things start looking a lot better, and starts looking not so better. We still got a lot of work to do, but we got our buttons appearing on top of our shiny black material, and that was a key selling point. Now, you see the bevel here, it looks a little harsh. We're gonna lower that, lower down that, what we got there. So let's just get in here and get to work. RGB curves. RGB curves is just a quick way of changing contrast, especially if you're using like an image as a value or a color as a value, like it's just pixel math. So we're gonna just continue on here and drag the curve up, render that out again, give it a moment. Okay, it's back to recording. So basically I went in and just scaled these images so that they would take up less or more space. So if we render that out again, we should have maybe for this tutorial we should try using some of the simplification options. Alright, here. Now let's render it out. Lowered the subdivisions and the shadowing samples. And there we go. We got our controller. We could probably do some smoothing to the map here. Let's do that real quick. Let's improve the quality of our image we have. So let's save it. Open a new file. Jump straight into the compositor, turn on use nodes, backdrop, close that. Let's drag this image and drop it in here. Output, viewer, we already got our image as the background. Control up, Alt V, look at this, all those jaggies. Let's see if we can fix that up. The compositor make quick work of this. First thing we're going to do, let's put a do nothing mix. Close that, connect. Filter, soften. That already did quite a bit. It makes it look better already. Blur. We'll have that blur to pixels and fast Gaussian. Now color ramp. And just with the color ramp alone, we did quite a bit to this picture. No GAMP, no nothing, just 100% Blender. Now you're probably wondering, how are we going to save that? Obvious. I showed you all that tip at the beginning. Go ahead and hit viewer node, hit F3, go to desktop, find that image, replace that image. Let's go back to this file, and is that our improved image? Oh, I'd say that is. So we just go straight in here and hit render, and let's see what we got here. This video's starting to drag on a little bit. Good times nevertheless. And that looks like the same image as earlier. So we probably need to go in and to the node editor and reload textures 4. Somehow, how do we access the textures? Oh, we can't. We'll just skip that, put that there, and now let's render that out. let's try it again. I had the wrong nodes connected. Oh, what a weirdo. Look, it's jumping up here now. There's some issues with the way that is looking. Let's see why that is. We'll just add a texture, jump in black white or something and bring up texture 4, disconnect that and see what we have happening to this thing. It is for some reason looking very bad. Let's hit reload. Did that improve it? We'll render out a shot and find out. As you can see, there's a lot of experimentation you gotta do here. Let's go ahead and hit a ramp. Let's pull this all the way this way. Let's pull this all the way this way. And that should have inverted it naturally. Why does this never work? I just did this earlier, I swear. This is getting ridiculous. In fact, I should just show you all the example. Alright, I think it works like it does with the nodes. You gotta... Okay, first of all, you gotta connect it. I'm being totally slow here. Alright, come on, I'm getting back on the ball, Quit coming out looking bumpy for the love of... Alright, finally, what did I have to do there? Oh man, so much work. This program drives me crazy. Let's go ahead and fix that bevel. I'm not liking how hard that edge is. And being able to navigate this vertice jungle is just a matter of having the skills of a cat. So can't really get any tips there. I mean, I could systematically hide stuff, but I have no problem looking at it through this wire labyrinth. Let's see, 0.9, negative. Heck no. Let's see. Maybe we should just apply a bevel modifier, but we can't. We can't do that. I'm becoming terribly obsessed with this. Sorry. Yeah, we cannot put a bevel. A bevel would just mess up the UV map. It'd make a mess. Or at least it did last time I tried something like that. I mean, I could probably experiment and find out. Don't want to. So let's get back on these buttons. Alright, so the buttons are special. We're going to go ahead and just remove that texture so we have only this. They're UV map correct. And let me grab my controller. Oh, actually, they're everywhere. Here's one at my foot. Sorry. Anyways, I don't even see why I'm modeling PlayStation stuff. I hate those bastards. Damn network went down. They don't care. Like, sorry, we gave out your credit card information, trying to give me tips on how to stay safe. You know, if you want to stay safe, don't give your damn credit card information to Sony. Um, but whatever. We're gonna select this, and we're gonna click the 4, and we're gonna name it TRI button. This one's gonna be very green. Alright, we're gonna select this one. This one's gonna be Sir buttons for circle. It's important you name your textures good for obvious reasons. Because only winners name their stuff cool stuff. No one likes to open a blend file and see a bunch of randomly named stuff. Yeah, I spelled X button and misspelled it. This one's kind of I could easily go on Google and get a but I'm gonna just use my eye, and right about there I say I don't care. Now I select a square, and the square is all alone. SQ, wait, SQ. You know, it drives me crazy that if you hold shift and press backspace it erases everything. I guess it makes sense, but not really, you know what I mean? It might just be me, but I backspace myself all the time. Now this one is kind of a pinkish, well, just pink. And if we render that out now, alright. And that's as awesome as you can get it right there, pretty much. But we're gonna go a little bit further. But that is a very pleasing looking render to have. Well, for me. Now let's do the whole controller. You know, I hate the fact that this thing is just so gray right now. I mean, it doesn't have to be either. Like, I could just make it gray in the viewport and the controller will still show up as a black. But we'll let this render out real quick. Alright, that's taking forever, isn't it? We're just watching it come up. Sorry, I had to have a drink there. Good thing we're not zooming in all hard, or else we'd have to do something about stuff like that. But we're not today. I mean, these creases are damn hard. It is a controller to cut pieces of your hand off gripping it, but it looks good. And that is the goal. I mean, we're not going to be zooming in on it, but we are going to go ahead and pause this.